Welcome, Domain Dave from CheapWineFinder.com. Another wine review on a snowy Chicago day in February. And it's a wine that I've never seen before. I didn't know it existed until I went out in the snow. I had no wine in the house. You know, I didn't go out in the snow to get bread or eggs or milk. I got wine. And this is Mon Frére Chardonnay 2018. Mon Frére is French for my brother, only in French. And when I saw it, I thought, au contraire, Mon Frére, which I thought it was Peppy, LaPew, but I think it might be Bart, Simpson. I'm not sure. And this is one of those wines that I picked out. I was in a store I don't normally go to, and it was like a boutique supermarket type of thing, smaller, cool, nice stuff. And the label had a elephant riding one of those big wheel turn of the 1890s bicycles with a mouse riding on the back wheel, kind of hitching a ride. And they said you can't pick a wine by the label. Well, yes, you can. And I was right. And it turns out, and I'm going to take a sip because I kind of like this one, that it checks off a lot of the boxes that I look for in a Chardonnay. First of all, it's made by Taub Family Selections. They're huge. They have a lot of import wines, but they have their own wines. And this actually is a brand, but there is a vineyard. I mean, not a vineyard, a winery attached to it. And the grapes come from coastal Mendocino, coastal Monterey, and Lodi, which is inland, but is in the river deltas of the San Pablo Bay, which is east of Oakland. The bay is, so is Lodi. So you have these cool vineyards for both Mendocino coastal, because Pacific Ocean is very cold, way colder than the Atlantic Ocean is. And then you have the warmer, riper grapes coming out of Lodi. So you have the coastal grapes have really long growing season. They're fully ripe. And then you have the warmer ones that are ripe and juicy. So you have those two things going together. What else? Oh, they used Burgundy Insulate yeast. It's a yeast they use in France, and the high-end Burgundy Chardonnays there, they just call it Burgundy there. They don't call it Chardonnay. And this is a yeast that they use that makes the wine last. It gives it a bright, fruit-forward characteristics that's supposed to. You can age it well. And this is a 2018. The 2019 just came out a month or two ago, which is this for a 2022 February. That's kind of a long time. This is maybe a $15 wine, $12 on sale. The French wines are way more expensive, but it has some of those characteristics. And also it has, I'm going to take another sip because I like to drink wine. It has partial malolactic fermentation. And when you're looking at Chardonnay, how the malolactic fermentation goes is something you need to know. It happens all the time in red wine. They barely tell you about it. It just happens. But what it does is it takes the naturally occurring tart yeast that's in a grape, and lactic is milk, right? It turns it into a rounded acid. But here they do both. They left some of the grapes without the malolactic, so it's tart, and some with rounded. So you get these coastal grapes, inland grapes, ripe grapes, malolactic, and then so you get the tart. So they got some things going on. So they're bringing different elements into this wine. $15 or $12 on sale is not an expensive wine. I think anything over 11 or 12 is premium wine. It's a good, but it's not. It's not expensive, and they have some details here that are really nice. Take another sip. So you have this really great acidity. If you ever go to a French tasting, Burgundian tasting, and you want the winemakers to be very happy with you, tell them the wine has great length. They love that because that's what they're trying to do. Wonderful balance, great length, because the length is everything, because the length allows the flavors to unfold, and it allows secondary flavors to show up, and it gives a finish that will last a long time. The length is important, and in a lot of modern wines, length is not as important as good flavor. But here this has good flavor, and it has length too. And so it's not something that you're always going to get. And sometimes if the wine tastes good enough, you don't mind, but you get it here. So that's nice. So Mon Frére, I think was it Contraire Go Fair? I'm not sure. So the name is, the French name I think comes from the Burgundian style. While it's still a classic California Chardonnay, there's some French elements to it, which makes it delicious. I mean, you get the best of both worlds, if you ask me. So I think that's my fourth or fifth sip. I don't have a rating system, but how many sips I take do mean something. So there you go. So this is Mon Frére Chardonnay 2018. It's got some length. It's got some time in the bottle. It's got some good technical notes to it, and it tastes great. So that's it for me, Dave, from cheapwinefighter.com. Like us where you like your podcast, if you will, and we appreciate you listening. And I got more. We're doing the Valentine's Day thing coming up. Chardonnay can be Valentine's Day. We're going to do more targeted, and keep it cheap, stay safe, stay healthy, and adios. I'll be talking to you. Bye-bye.